except for Quinn Boyer, I should say.
Still could be a nice game for Brad Keselowski. This hasn't been their best day, but if you can make the most of it, come out of here with a bigger lead than what you had going in, be a pretty good, solid day, Dave.
And DJ, they knew it was going to be another fuel mileage exercise. I talked to Paul Wolf, the crew chief, this morning. Asked him if they made any changes after running Brad out last week at Charlotte at one point. He said, no, it was a matter of the weather getting cold on us and consuming more fuel than we had expected. So he didn't feel like they needed to change anything in their philosophy or their calculations, and they'd be good to go for another run. So, as you might expect, they're good to go till the end of this race.
All right, Dave. Certainly there have been a lot of obstacles for all the championship contenders to dodge in this one. And so far, Brad's been pretty successful at dodging them so far. They had one earlier where two cars crashed in front of him off turn 4, and he split them and managed to get through untouched. Regan Smith making the most of his drive today in Kansas. In for Dale Jr. in the 88 Hendrick car. That's third place he's trying to get.
Yeah, you heard Dale Jr. is going to want this car back next week, so he wants to see what he can do with it.
Well, he's doing a great job with it, that's for sure. If he hadn't opened people's eyes before, days like today, he certainly will.
From 39th to 4th at the moment, Dave, for this 88 car.
Yeah, but you described it earlier, Alan, a very loose race car in qualifying, put him back there for the beginning. Crew Chief Steve Letarte just told him, push the button, go for it. So if we had any concerns about them running the final few laps without stopping again for fuel, there are none. Crew Chief wants him to go.
Mentioned a little bit ago, Mark Martin getting bypassed by Denny Hamlin and a few others. His 55 car looks like he's down on power.
Yeah, it looked like that, but now I've seen the last few laps that the car seems to maybe come back. So I don't know if that could have been a battery or something like that.
Yeah, the motor's down on the cylinder.
Yeah, Mark's definitely got a problem. It seems like it's come back. The speed has come back a little.
So Mark Martin leading this race a little while ago, made a pit stop from the lead. Then the caution came out. Got the free pass, got back on the lead lap, but does not look to be in shape to make any progress toward the front. There are Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin.
Now, I just saw Denny Hamlin get passed by Jimmy Johnson. I'm not sure that Denny Hamlin's not pedaling his car a little bit because he was not able to make a pit stop. He made that green flag stop and has quite a few laps to go to make it on that tank. I think he has to be. He's one of the few cars, if not the only car, that has to be in fuel conservation right now.
Keep an eye on Hamlin and see where things go in this 11 as they look to try and make it to the finish. And again, with the frequency of the caution flags today, it would surprise no one if we see another yellow flag. Oh, there it is, right there. 22 car, caution. Sam Hornish Jr.
Right side here, guys. Right side. See blue tire.
You can see the damage he already had from an earlier incident.
Yeah, I'm sure this tire failure probably from a tire rub. You can see that right front destroyed. The fender. They taped it up.
Sam running 24th. He had just taken a wave around at that last caution to come back onto the lead lap. He had
garage.
Boy. Oh.
Just glad we have these safer barriers these days for these wrong tires. Still a hard impact for these drivers, but much safer issue for them.
Sam had some damage when he was collected in an incident earlier.
Yeah, Ryan Newman and Kyle Busch got together, and he got into the back of Newman then, trying to avoid it.
Caused all that damage. Well, caused the earlier damage on the right front of the car. Now, obviously, a whole lot more.
And you were just talking about Denny Hamlin pedaling it. Now that he's in this situation, does he come get some tires, put fuel in this?
Oh, absolutely. I think he comes in now and gets tires and fuel. He's not going to give up many spots either. He's 18th. If he comes in, I think everybody else behind him probably will too. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer for him to come in. I kind of wonder what's going on with Mark Martin, though. He's sitting there 20th. Not sure what was wrong with his car.
Pit road open here. Sure looks like Hamlin's crew's ready to go to work, huh? Sure looks like Truex's crew is not. David Reagan free pass on the yellow flag. That'll give us 25 cars on the lead lap. And we will see if we have any takers here on the pit lane. Denny Hamlin's going to be the one. Mark Martin also. And now a couple in front of them. McMurray and Montoya. And indeed Hamlin in, Doc.
And you guys are exactly on it, Andy. Nothing to lose by coming in now. They're going to be really, really close on fuel. They're going to go ahead and put 4 tires on it and try to free him up just a little bit here. Right rear chassis adjustment, left side tires going on. Still got to get it full of fuel because they worry about green, white checkers. With everything that's happened today, they can run a bunch of here before the checkered wave. He's away.
I see Mark Martin's car team going under the hood of the car, trying to find out what the problem was.
14th caution out in Kansas. We'll keep an eye on this situation in NASCAR Nonstop, presented by Ram. Coming to the restart with what'll be 28 laps to go. And Matt Kenseth with Paul Menard to his inside for the restart. Casey Kane now back in 6th position. Lost some spots under the caution flag. More on that in a minute. And now losing a spot off turn 4. Kane tried to charge, make up a little ground on the restart, but Tony Stewart aggressive since they waved this green flag.
Yeah, Smoke went to the apron, picked up a few spots there.
I think he can be aggressive, but he can't hold off this 5 car. He's too fast. He's giving it a go, though.
So Stewart to 4th, Kane to 5th with Boyer and Smith right behind him. I mentioned Kane losing some positions under the caution flag. He was running 2nd at the yellow. And as Vince Welch reported to us from pit road during the commercial break, he was shutting the car off to save fuel, had trouble getting the car to reignite right away. And NASCAR has a rule about maintaining pace. By the time he got it to refire, 4 other cars had passed him, and he found himself back in 6th. And now he's trying to make some of those spots up.
It's just another huge mistake by this race team, and I know that what he was trying to do, it seemed like they would have had plenty of fuel, but in an effort in case, I guess, a green-white checker, they just nothing's gone right in this chase, really, for this 5 team.
There are a lot of teams today that they could say nothing's gone right for them. And a lot of teams that have had to overcome troubles during the course of this race to be in contention to win. Canes would certainly be one of those. The car very ill handling earlier in the race. And then after they got that straightened out, this latest problem that's left him some ground to make up.
That sucks that did that. I'm done saving fuel.
10-4. We need to fix this. Like, sorry about that, man. It ain't your fault.
Okay, we'll do it from here.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating. You shut the car off trying to save fuel. You don't really need to. They're just doing it for insurance. And then finally now they're saying, okay, just no more of that. Can't afford to lose any more spots, especially in the caution.
Well, the way this thing has gone today, certainly reasonable to expect we might go a little overtime in this one.
Yeah, see Martin Truex there in 2nd. Could this be a little redemption? He looked like after dominating the race here back in April that he was going to get a victory for this team. Got himself in a position to make up for that and go to victory lane here today.
Led 173 laps in the April race. Passed by Denny Hamlin with 31 to go and had to settle for second. Said that race broke our hearts.
He's got some making up to do, though, because right now Matt Kenseth has set sail. I guess nobody told him that everybody else at Leeds had problems and hit the wall or something, but he doesn't seem to be concerned with that right now.
Nope. So there's your leader, Matt Kenseth. Truex, Menard, Stewart, Kane, the top five. Boyer, Smith, Gordon through 8th. And then Brad Keselowski running in 9th. Kevin Harvick 10th. Jimmy Johnson running in the 11th position. Behind Johnson, Kurt Busch, Marcos Ambrose, and then Denny Hamlin. Stories on the day, the crash for Johnson earlier when he got trapped by making a green flag pit stop, and then the yellow came out. He was back in traffic. He spun out. He hit the wall, and he's come back from that. That was back at lap 135 when Johnson hit the wall running in 20th. He's worked his way back. Denny Hamlin, same, getting trapped just after making a green flag pit stop. Instead of a cycle of stops working through and him being somewhere up in the top 6 or 7, he was way back in 23rd position for the restart. Check at 24th position after having to take a wave around, and he's got some ground to make up.
How about Jimmy Johnson coming now, getting this car back in the top 10, one spot behind points leader Brad Keselowski right now. It's just incredible what they've done to this car and the drive that Jimmy has in getting back into the top 10 when it looked like they were going to be relegated to a finish certainly outside the top 20.
I think he's fast enough to actually go up and drive by Brad Keselowski. He's been a couple tenths quicker here in this run.
Now, for all they've been through today, our Goodyear Superior performer, Jimmy Johnson and his team. What an effort. If they win this championship, this will be a day to write down and make note of.
Yeah, they were talking about having to come in. They were going to need a deck lid for it and all kinds of things. I really didn't think they were going to be able to fuel this car, anything else. But, Dave, they made the repairs and got him in the top 10 now.
The rolling roll of tape speeds on, and Jimmy Johnson is able to control it. That fuel question shouldn't be a problem. Remember, they came in and packed it full of fuel at the very end. But it was interesting talking to Chad Knaus this morning. We thought it was going to be a hot and sunny day versus the days we'd had previous. So we talked about the unknown, the unexpected. I said, you like that kind of challenge? He goes, yeah, and I think our team really responds well. Well, guess what? They've been challenged today, and they've come through.
Yes and yes. They have been challenged, and they have come through.
Well, I think they'll probably look at it in two ways. They're going to have missed an opportunity to take this points lead away with a fast race car from the two, but they also have avoided disaster in the same day.
There are the championship standings, basically identical first to second as they were to start the day, with Keselowski running in 9th position, Jimmy running in 10th. Jimmy has led today, Brad has not. So the bonus point to Johnson for leading a lap. Just thinking back how after the end of the Charlotte race last week, when Keselowski and his group really gave away points for the first time in this championship, and the kind of the swagger or the confidence that they've had going through this for the first time, if that would change any. Certainly doesn't seem to have. Brad said he looked forward to coming here and showing everybody what they're really all about as a team. And then Jimmy's saying, you know, it's been a really competitive chase, and I'm having a lot of fun racing the 11 and 2. And I'm really looking forward to pouring the pressure on now.